Welcome everybody once again to When God Speaks. Madelaine here with me, Enrique, and we're going to be talking about some great things that are going on, at least from the perspective of what God is doing. And I hope that you can take some, some encouragement, some strength, some fortitude from listening to the things that we discuss during these sessions. And I hope that you be blessed. So, Madelaine, welcome and thank you for joining me in this endeavor. It's a pleasure to have you as a co host here. We're going to change some lives.
Thank you, Enrique. It's a pleasure to be with you, and I want to say a warm welcome to the people who's listening to our video. I hope we touch their hearts today, give them some inspiration for the week, and let them know that we would like you to know that you're not alone. You know, and whatever your challenges are or your blessings are, you're not alone, and that's what we're going to discuss today.
Yes, before the show started, and I was talking to Madelaine about certain things that I wanted to share that were on my heart, and around that theme, God is listening. Not only does He speak, but He listens. And we've been talking a lot about, hey, we need to listen, but guess what? We get that from Him. He listens to the cries. He listens to the concerns, the prayers of his people, and he is intimately interested in what is going on in our life. And earlier, I was sharing with Madelaine a situation that happened to me a couple of days ago. And if you know anything about me, it's just that I say how it is, uh, because I don't I like to be transparent. The things that happen to me are the things that happen to me, and there's no hiding. There's no shame in any of it. It is my life, and you should not be ashamed of yours. But I was having a conversation, and I'm just gonna caveat this that if I get a little emotional, please don't mind me. It's just that I feel too blessed. But I was having a conversation with a dear friend of mine. I love this guy to death, and we were talking about plans and business and future and endeavors and all these other things. And he was sharing with me something that is on his heart and in his mind, and he's putting his hand to in the business world. And he asked in the conversation, if I would be willing to invest into this venture of his. And just in common conversation, I was just saying, man, if I can invest, but not financially, because man, I can't even pay my water bill. So, and a lot of people, they see you externally, they see you in the things that you do, and they don't realize that this world climate is affecting all of us in one way or another. So in any case, we just keep going with the conversation, and when we get on the phone, it's hours, and so we're talking, and then we were done, and several hours passed later on during that day, and he calls me back, and he says, "Hey, Enrique, I just realized something in our conversation. I wanted to call you back because did I hear you say you couldn't pay your water bill?" I said, "Yeah, brother, that's the circumstances I'm in. That's my lot right now, and so it's just no biggie. It's just where I'm at." And he says, "Oh no," and he said, "Send me your bank information." And I said, "What? Uh, no, no, you don't have to do that. But I'm not gonna, take. I refuse to take people's blessings away, right? So I'm one not to reject anyone that would do anything for me because that's how God speaks. Sometimes that's how God speaks, and you need to um, maybe take a little bit of humility and allow people to express their love through their giving, whatever it may be. So, any case, I give them the information, and I'm thinking because I mentioned, hey, a water bill, right? A water bill is not that, not that much. Um, that maybe he covered that, and I said, I was feeling blessed, and I expressed my gratitude to him nonetheless. Um, but then I checked my account, and in my account was $1,000, and you know he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that. Uh, he doesn't know how much he actually blessed us, um, during this time, and I'm so grateful for him. And there may be people out there that are in the same situation. Uh, I just ask you to pray about it, and maybe it doesn't come that way to you. Maybe it comes a different way. Maybe the company will work with you, or something else would happen that would bless you. But what I'm aiming at here is for you to understand that as much as God speaks, He listens,
Mhm.
and He's willing to listen to you, and He knows the situations you are in, and He is ready to come to your rescue. Sometimes it's through His own word directly, sometimes it's through the hands of a friend. Nonetheless, He's ready to meet your need, if you are willing to listen as well and see His hand actually operating in your situation. So I encourage everyone that in this time, if you're going through something that it seems impossible, or it seems like you can't overcome it, or it seems like it's such a huge and monumental task, and it almost looks like it's going to swallow you up, cry out to the Lord, and He will hear you, and He will send an answer. So, yeah, I wanted to share that with you today because it's something that just happened to me, but it's God all over it, and I just thank Him, and I thank my friend, for their generosity and their love.
It's a wonderful story, Enrique, and I know the feeling because I've been there for a couple of months now where I can't pay my bills, but in some amazing way, at the last moment, one of these amazing stories will come through. What I've learned and what I've seen, I believe that we are in a major change at the moment worldwide to actually start to tap within and to reconnect with God or with whoever you want to believe to and whoever you feel comfortable with. But that to know that we cannot, how can I say it? In the past, we would put our hope in others to help us, but yes, they are the tools that will help us. But we need to ask first, like Solomon, when God said to him, "Ask me anything you want, and I will give it to you." And what did he ask? He asked for wisdom
Right.
and inner strength, and then God gave him the riches. So sometimes I think we are so conditioned in our thinking of we need to rely on others, and life is meant to suffer and be difficult, and we forget, and we also focused on the material things. We are focused on the past, the status, the whatever we want to be seen for. Where now I believe it's changing into who are we? Who are we from the inside? Who are we? Who are we connected with, you know? And through that, we are starting to build up different channels of connecting with people and seeing people through different eyes. And that is where our help comes from. They are again they've been putting on our path to help us, and we've been put on others' path to help them. But if it's not with the guidance from above, then it won't happen. And that is what I'm seeing in my own life at the moment. And it's really keeping me on my knees at the moment, you know, and make me realize that there's a lot of detoxing that needs to take place every single day. And also realize that I am not alone, but it's a matter of asking. And I remember how many times in the past I was challenged and I thought I'm alone. And I felt so lonely and I felt so overwhelmed, but I forgot to ask. Because when you focus on your problems and you focus on the challenges that you need to overcome, the challenges become bigger and bigger and bigger. And you forget to focus on where your help will come from to deal with the challenges. And that is when God puts a person like that on your path and say, yeah, I'm here. Let me help you. And next time you again go, let me help you. Because we remember these times, we remember what happens to us, and we want to give back next time when we are able to. And that's the beauty of what you give is what you get.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because um, it reminded me of, and actually, you know, this is straight blessing from God, but it reminded me of a time where I was doing well, and a friend needed something, and I gave freely, without any expectation, without any requirement,
Mm,
and it's exactly how he gave me. So you have to put these things into play. Now
mm,
that was several years ago, right? I mean, I'm talking about at least 15 years ago that happened, but it reminded me of that time,
mm,
and so to the point of what you sow is what you reap, and it may be 15 years, it may be 30, who knows? It may be one, but it wasn't sown in that way to future reap, right? Because that's interest based. Um, but God has a way of bringing back all the good that you have done,
mm.
to meet your need when you are in that need. And
Yeah.
so, consider all your actions as a way of opening doors in the future, because we all have different situations at times. Now, every year looks the same, not every day looks the
Mm,
same. If you can go back, not every hour looks the same, right? So
mm,
you could break this down all the way to whatever. It just does not look the same.
mm,
And when you put into the atmosphere, you put into the ground things that are worthy of praise, right?
mm,
Freely giving with a grateful heart and a abundance mindset, you end up putting in the ground something that will grow. Um, and whether you get something or not, that is not the point. The point is what you put in the ground is what you get. And
mm,
so I'm so grateful for him and all the things that God is doing, because he's actually doing some great things even in the midst of such dire situations, right?
mm,
um, uh, and so I'm blessed not only by that situation, but by other things that God is doing. We kind of had a discussion. He's opening doors. He's making things uh, flourish. But a garden doesn't grow all overnight, right? Things have to there's times to all these things. There's times to processes that allow you to reap a harvest later on. So I'm so grateful for what he's doing in my life, in your life. We have many discussions, and and he can do it in your life as well. If you're listening, he could do it in your life too. You just have to have patience. You have to be faithful, right? Committed to a certain life, committed to his purpose, and his purpose and his aim is to bring that forth in yours. So
Mhm.
if you're struggling with patience, hold on. I encourage you to hold on, just a little longer. It always reminds me of that picture of the two men with the axes, the picks on the ground, and one is above the other, and one is turning back the other way because he gave up, and the other guy is starting where that guy ended up, and he's about to hit all the diamonds, right? um,
Yeah.
just hold on just a little longer, and if you could tell yourself that every day, and be encouraged with the fact of the knowledge that he is working something out,
Mm.
you'll be able to get through and see the harvest that he's been working out for you. Um,
Mm. Yeah, it's a matter of do not focus on the challenge, rather ask for help, seek help and you will get it. And I've seen it so many times because when I focus on the challenge, it becomes overwhelming. And eventually you think you actually cannot find a solution because it's all you see is this mountain that you need to move. And I believe that is the mountain that they speak about, is
right,
our challenges that we need to move. And the only way to move it is to focus on the solution, ask for the wisdom, the strength, and for help to move that mountain. And it will happen. I firmly believe we are all in a situation at the moment where we are, I, we are made aware that we are not everything. We
hmm,
cannot achieve all of this by our own.
right,
We thought we could, and especially successful business people tend to forget, because you become independent, you become you are in this role and you forget your humanness underneath that. And I believe 2020 took all of that, the mask away, and we are literally who we are at the moment. We're finding ourselves and we're finding our new way going forward. And I believe this is where we get feed or food for our inner soul that will take us forward.
yeah, I totally agree. And anybody listening, I just wanted to bring this out. If you have a prayer request, I love to pray. You can add those to the comments in this channel, and I'll definitely pray over those things for you. You don't have to get overly specific if you don't want to, but just put a prayer request for whatever, and I'll be sure to make the time to pray over those things, so that God can move in your situation, and I know that He will. Well, folks, for us this week, it's a short one, but we want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to listen to some of the stories that are in our lives, and the things that are operating in our lives, but more importantly, how God is speaking and making His voice known through these situations, that you may get some reinforcement, right? Some courage, and some hope from our stories. So, Madelaine, thank you for being with me once again. And folks will be doing this every week, so look out for it every Sunday. Uh, and like I said, if you have prayer requests, and anything dealing with that type of thing, just put it in the comments and we'll be sure to address those.
Well, thank you very much, Enrique. It's a pleasure to be with you as always. And I'm sure we will have a blessed week going ahead. And I also want to say if there's people who would like to connect with us, speak to us, or feel like they would like some spiritual counseling, please let us know. We are here for you and we can assist you and we can, it's we cannot do this on our own.
Right.
So, and we need people and their perception sometimes of our situation to actually put a better light on it than what we see ourselves. So, if you're in a situation that's feeling overwhelmed or it's really giving you anxiety and depression, connect with us. We are here for that.
I agree. Yes. And we'll see you all next week at When God Speaks.